So, good morning and welcome to just down the road from where I live on the beautiful Mendips. And this morning I just thought, got out of bed early, I woke up early, got out of bed early, way before I needed to go to work this morning. And I just thought, do you know what, I'm just going to come for a walk, head off down a path that I've never been to before, and just sort of see what I could capture. Just spend, hour and a half, 2 hours, which is what I've got, to just walk around and see what I can get. I've shot a lot of film lately, I've got loads at home to develop, and I just thought that, you know what, I'm going to get up, I'm going to make a Lumix Wednesday video. So I am out with my Lumix S5 Mark II, and I'm just going to enjoy the process of taking photos of it. No stress, no sort of visualization of what I'm going to take. Never been down here before, haven't scouted it, don't know what's down here, might not get anything. But I'm just going to enjoy the process of just taking some digital images, putting them in the Lightroom, playing with them a little bit, and then posting this video. As simple as that, really. Just a no stress sort of morning, I suppose. So yeah, it's beautiful, as you can see, the sun's out, and we'll just see what we can get. Quite like this trailer that's sort of sat in amongst here. It looks all rusty and falling to bits. The only thing I'm not sort of liking really is just all this electric fence that's clicking away here. See if I can get a nice composition on this. I think this fence is going to have to end up in the shot anyway, but let's see what we can get. Quite like this shot here also, with the power line sort of heading off there. I quite like shots that have got human elements in the frame also. I know it's not for everyone's taste, but now and again I do like a shot like this, as well as a traditional sort of landscape shot. So yeah, might see what I can do here also. Sort of quite liking this sort of grassy stuff with just the water droplets and everything on it. Looks quite nice. I might just try and get down. I quite like the way the sun's sort of glistening off the water droplets on this grass, so I might just try and see if I can get something here. It's not usually my sort of shot, but yeah, I'll give it a go. So what I am doing when I am shooting this is, like I say, handheld is the way I'm going this morning. Don't want my tripod anywhere near it. In fact, I've left it in the car. And the reason for that is, like I say, it's just that freedom of just coming for a walk, not having to carry loads of stuff. I've got my extra lens in the bag, but that's it really. I've got nothing else other than what I'm filming on. But normally, if I was just coming for a walk, not doing any filming, it's just, like I say, just coming out, doing some handheld shots. It's just really freeing. It just, I don't know. I know it's just a tripod, and it may sound really stupid, but bringing a tripod with you, just, I don't know, it just feels like you're restricting yourself in a weird way. But certainly, when you come out handheld, you just feel a bit more free, or at least I do anyway. So I just want to talk through some of the settings that I'm going with for handheld shooting, to make sure I get these crisp images, free of shake and all that sort of thing. Now, obviously the Lumix S5ii has got fantastic in-body stabilization, which does mean that you get, I think it's 5.5 stops of stabilized image, which means I can shoot at a lower a lower shutter speed than normally I would do. So what I would say is, at the moment I'm shooting on anywhere between sort of ISO 400 and 800, and I'm shooting somewhere around f11, sort of anywhere from f8 to f11. Generally in f11. I have done some sort of lower ground shots. One of them you've already seen, where I shot at f5.6 because I wanted to blur everything out in the background. So like I say, don't be scared of pushing the ISO up a little bit, and perhaps, you know, bringing your f-stop, you know, down to sort of f8, something like that, just opening that lens up a little bit, just to let that little bit more light in, especially if you're taking images on a camera that's not got image stabilization. Perhaps it's got it on the lens, perhaps it's not got any, but it doesn't matter. Just be aware that if you are handheld shooting, the general rule of thumb for it without any image stabilization is to shoot at whatever your focal length is. So say I'm shooting at 20mm, that is what your shutter speed needs to be as a minimum. So if I'm shooting at 20mm, then you're looking for 1/20th of a second. If I'm shooting at 60mm, then it's 1/60th of a second. And obviously the longer lens you go, then you obviously are looking for a higher shutter speed to take away any camera shake that you're going to have, you know, by hand holding. So that's the general rule of thumb when you've got no stabilization. So like I say, whatever your focal length is, that's what the minimum shutter speed needs to be on your camera for handheld. And generally that's just a rule of thumb that's been around for years and years and years, so, and it generally works. So that is a tip that I would use for that. And yeah, just like I say, don't be scared of coming out and doing some landscape photography. Just firstly, off the cuff, you don't need to plan every trip you do, and secondly, leaving your tripod in the car or at home, or whatever you're doing. So yeah, really loving this morning. It's just a beautiful light around. It's quiet, no one around here at all. You know, you can see behind me the sun's rising. Yeah, it's just real nice, just listening to the birds. Beautiful to be out. So I feel like there might be a shot here with this gate and this sort of path leading up to it. I even quite like the fact that there's that church on top of the hill. So it's just finding composition here. The sun has just gone behind a cloud, unfortunately, although there is a bit of sunlight on the hill sort of behind where the sheep are. But I'm sure there must be something here. So I'm just going to explore this area for a few minutes and just see if I can capture anything worthy. So just to show you quickly, I've just played around with a couple of different compositions. Again, something slightly different to what I normally do. This thing could do with some light. If I'm honest, it would be nice if there was just some light coming in from the side there onto the gate, would be really nice. But what I've done is I've actually used this tree sort of frame the image. So I'll just bring you in here. So what I've done is I've sort of gone between there, and obviously the branches that you're seeing that are in focus are out of focus on my shot, and then the gate and everything in the background is in shot. So that's the sort of thing that I've gone with. Hopefully that comes out. I guess you'll see in a second. You've got to admit, I thought the football pitch I used to play on when I was younger was bad, but not sure I'd want to play football on this. Look at the ups and downs there, the other goals on the other side, look. Quite like this shot here with this sort of pole with the light on it and the sign, and just the, I guess that's elder flower in the background possibly. Not great with my flowers, but yeah, quite like this little scene here. Of course, who doesn't like postbox on a wall? Definitely got to take a shot of this. That's lovely. Clearly I'm heading in the right direction here. Bit early for a point for me now, I'm going to be honest. So another tip when you're hand holding is just make sure that when you're going to take your photo, that you're as planted on the floor as possible, and you just got a nice pose where your sort of legs are sort of shoulder width apart, or maybe you've got a leg just stepped back, or if you're sort of bent down, that you're not sort of swaying about like this sort of thing, because obviously any of that is just going to add shake to your image, which obviously you don't want. So yeah, just another thing really, like I say, just make sure that when you're setting yourself up that you've got a nice solid sort of footing on the ground, to give yourself the best chance of getting that sharp, crisp handheld image without shake. Now I am liking this tree in the background. I quite like the side light that's coming on to it at the moment, this sort of oak tree. What I'm not sure about is the tent and the van that's sort of there at the moment. I'm not sure if they're just doing a spot of wild camping or what's going on here, but there is an excavator over there also, which I walked past earlier. So I think I'm going to try and stand sort of on the edge here somewhere. Obviously there's a bit of a drop off the other side, just to see if I can capture this, because I quite like the like I say, just the light coming on from the side in this tree. So let's see what we can get with this. There's got to be something here. I just love all these purple flowers that are here, and this building's actually quite nice as well. I guess this is probably part of the old works that were here, possibly. But yeah, this is such a beautiful little area. Like I said, I never knew it was here. Just literally picked a point on a map and come here this morning. But yeah, it's just really beautiful. Even like if I just step back slightly, the dappled light on this sort of oak tree or whatever this is. No, it's not an oak tree. Whatever tree this is anyway, but I just really like the dappled light on that and the wall and everything. So just gonna have a bit of a walk around here and just see if I can make use of these sort of beautiful purple flowers and the building, and maybe something with this tree as well. So just gonna have a bit of a walk around and see what we can get. So I've had a walk around for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, just to this little area here, because I'm sure there is an image here. I just don't think I've captured it. So what I've done with this tree is I tried it from sort of that side, but of course my shadow was being cast across the scene, which isn't any good. So what I did was I came around to this side of the tree, and I got down quite low and just sort of cut the tree sort of in half there, and just got this sort of the root system and everything in the bottom with the wall in the background, and then obviously all of the ferns going off into the distance there. And I think that is quite nice. So yeah, hopefully that will come out. And then the other one I've done is I just went into this, well, not into it, but from the path, just where the sort of these flowers were most sort of at the thickest, and I've shot back towards the wall. Now unfortunately I think the better shot would have been from this side where the wall's in the background, there's nothing behind it. And what I've done is I've turned or opened the aperture up to 5.6 to focus mainly on the flowers in the foreground and let everything else fall off behind it. But the only issue with that is the closer I got this way with the wall and sort of trying to keep it quite minimal, the sort of the flowers dropped off, so there wasn't as many, so that wasn't going to work. So I've had to frame it in a different way, just showing the tree. There's a sort of tree there that I've had to use. So yeah, so hopefully that works, although I'm not entirely sure it does, and I don't think I've done this little area justice, but never mind, I will be back again to give it a go. So because this is definitely a beautiful little spot, and there's loads of images to be had here. It's just finding them. Right, so I think there's a fairly obvious shot here. I just like the way that this path sort of winds its way through. I like the light coming in here against this tree, and just a sort of light over here. I think I'm going to take portrait and landscape here and just see if I can get something. So yeah, just going to stop here a second and see if I can get a shot. So actually, as I was just taking that shot there of that path snaking through, there was a dog walker that just walked up behind me. I didn't realise he was there. I heard his dog, the collar on his dog. And anyway, so I managed to get a couple of shots of that sort of path through them trees without anybody there, and I managed to get a few shots with the dog walker there. So I'll put them both up side by side, and yeah, if you want to have a look, see which one you prefer. Yeah, obviously I haven't seen them yet, but I'll let you guys decide which one you prefer, with the dog walker or without. Now, of course, the other thing that I will leave you with as a bit of a tip is just remembering not to go mad when you're out shooting. Don't take thousands of images, because all it's going to do is add stress to you when you get back into your office later and go to download your images and find that you've got 1,000 images to go through. Just take your time with it, slow down with what you're shooting, and just really think about what you're capturing, making sure that you're not taking too many images. Now, what I tend to do is take 2 shots of everything that I shoot, just in case I've misfocused or done something stupid like that. So yeah, just bear that in mind when you're out. Don't go mad shooting everything in sight. Just because you've got a memory card that you can fit thousands of images on doesn't mean you need to fill it. So yeah, like I say, I just take a couple of images. Sorry, I'm fighting with a cockerel back there, but yeah, I'll just take a couple of images in each location and then move on. Yeah, that's my tip really. So yeah, I've just found another image here, probably more of a film type image, but just of this old sort of caravan in the background there. So just going to take a couple of shots of this now. Hopefully these come out. So I'm going to end this video here and just say thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and a subscription to the channel would be amazing. Please leave a comment below. I always read them and get back to people, even though if it takes me a few days. I do apologise for that, but I always get back to everybody that does take the time to leave a comment. Yeah, the road is quite busy up here, and I haven't got a mic set up connected to this, so I'm just a bit worried that I'll end up losing my audio when I go out here. But there is an image, 2 images in fact, just a little bit further down this road, and these 2 images that I'm going to put up will probably give away to anyone local exactly where I am, to be honest with you, or I have been today. So yeah, I'm going to try and get these images, and these one of these images of these petrol pumps is something that I've wanted to get on film for quite a while, but again, it's just they're on private land. I think they get photographed quite a bit, and I think the owner gets a little bit upset with people just walking on their land taking photos. So I'm going to try and take it from the roadside, but like I say, it's a busy road. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoy these last 2 images, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.